Zook.
And he plays the
Drums.
Bunk Bed Junction. That's who we are. And we're here to stop NSR from controlling everything.
There's only one music in demand right now, and that is EDM.
The people of Final City deserve to know what rock is about. It's time we fight EDM with the power of rock. The music revolution starts right now.
I am DJ Subatomic Supernova. What have you done today, simpletons?
You're disrupting our music revolution, man. Let's get this over with.
Circus ends now, Ten-Ten.
Maintain Operation Party all night!
You ready, Zook?
Yeah.
Hey everyone, my name is Wan Hasmir and I'm the CEO of Metronomik and Game Director of No Straight Roads. My cousin Daim and I, we found Metronomik back in December 2017, and with a team of very talented individuals in Malaysia, we managed to finish the game in 2.5 years. One of the biggest joys being a game director for No Straight Roads is the fact that I was able to see all the beautiful art that's churned out by these individuals, you know, from the concept art to the 3D models, the textures, and finally it being animated on the screen with the controller in my hand. The beautiful art has elevated the game so much to the point that, you know, it is really beyond our imagination since we came up with the idea 2.5 years ago. So today I would like to give you a very exclusive sneak peek into what's going on in their minds and, you know, the making of art of No Straight Roads in general. My cousin Daim will be interviewing every single one of these artists to show you how it's done. So I'll pass it to Daim.
Hello, my name is Daim Ziauddin. I am the creative director of Metronomik. So we have a collection of amazing people ahead of us, and I am very happy to share with you the stuff that we have been working on for the past 2 years. So with No Straight Roads, of course, we start with pre-production, and that means a lot of brainstorming, a lot of concept art. It's all putting stuff on the paper and seeing what works, you know. And we were very fortunate because since the inception of our company, we have an amazing illustration artist, Ellie Yong. She has been on board with us since the beginning of our company, which we are very fortunate. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Ellie.
Hello, I'm Ellie. I'm the lead concept artist for Metronomik.
Hello. Yeah, it took us multiple takes to do this because of many problems in recording. So thank you so much, Ellie. So she has been with us since the beginning, and it was really great to have her in because the level of art we need in the game is tremendous, and this responsibility is a very big one. She has to handle not just the character art, but kind of the everything, the environment art, how each of the character looks like, right, Ali? And soon we're going to start this with, we're going to talk about character design first, and it was designed by a couple of us, but the majority of the cast is designed by myself and Ali lah, and I'm really fortunate to have her as well, because some of the characters I would feel like it's difficult for me to do, especially cute characters. So that kind of stuff, I was more than happy to pass it to Ali to do it.
I'm more than happy to do that kind of stuff. Don't give me mecha.
Yeah. So speaking of cute characters, we are going to talk about Saiyu. So, okay, Ali, can you just share us your screen? We are going to show you some of the early sketches of Saiyu that we have.
Okay. So here's the early sketches of Saiyu. She was supposed to be a schoolgirl in the early days.
This was so early, man. This is like way, way early, and we didn't even talk about the mermaid design yet, isn't it?
No, that came later. Like we were pretty much confirmed with the direction of her being in a pinafore with rabbit ears.
It was a shame that we couldn't get a pinafore though, because that is kind of a very nice nod to Malaysian culture. I think everybody knows what that blue pinafore is, right?
Yeah, but I'm not a fan of the pinafore. Being someone that had to wear it to school, I'm not a fan of it.
I think it's nice though, So the trick about Saiyu is that early on, the thing that we finalized is that she needs to be a fictional character, and that is always a challenge when you make a fictional character within a fictional world. There's kind of like that double layer of fiction. So how fiction can you how fiction can you push this character to make it obvious to that world that this character is not real, right?
That's where we sort of added those unconnecting joints.
Exactly. That was the early stages that we make her more disjointed, isn't it? And the other thing that we agreed on is that we wanted to make her. So this is a very easy solution that we came up with, is that let's not make her human, So the first idea we had is to give her bunny ears.
Give it a little, and since she wants to have a very bouncy personality, I think it kind of fits too.
But there was a time when we felt that the bunny ears does not push Saiyu design to the level of fiction that we want. So I think I forgot when, but because Ellie, if you didn't know, do you want to say about that? Because you have a fascination with mermaids, isn't it?
Yeah, I really enjoy drawing mermaids, so I think a lot of my portfolio at this time also featured a lot of mermaids. So I think part of this was, I think you saw some of the mermaids, and that's how it sort of clicked to you that, hey, maybe we could try turning Saiyu into a mermaid instead.
Yeah.
So these are the after we sort of finalized the bunny pinafore design, then we decided, hey, let's try making a mermaid version instead.
It was definitely I would say it's like a match made in heaven, where the mermaid design, I think the mermaid theme works really well with Saiyu, and Ellie has drawn so many designs of mermaids, so it was very fitting to kind of put this on her plate and just go crazy with the mermaid design.
Yeah, I'm so glad we went this direction though.
Yeah, so at this stage we already have pretty much the final design for Saiyu. It was more of a color exploration, isn't it?
Yep. So the difficult thing with Saiyu's color part was that we had to pick a color where she actually stands out from her environment. She has to both blend in and stand out. So the color design of her tail took the longest time ever. Even after we finalized, we went back to it so many times. There were like probably like 20 plus. I don't know, man. This is just a small selection.
Compared to other bosses, I remember Saiyu, yeah, we had difficulty, like you say, the blending with the environment, and at the same time, she needs to pop out. Saiyu was, I think, she was the most difficult one because she was constantly blending too much with the environment.
Especially that tail.
Yeah, and this is a design that, yeah, can you stop on here for a while? No, the next one is really nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one is really nice, and I don't see people commenting this yet. And I think this is part of our design choice. I mean, it was from Elila, is that we wanted to give a Malaysian element to Saiyu. So instead of, when you think about mermaids, usually in Western design, they are usually more skimpy. They wear like bikinis or seashells or something. But for Saiyu, we went for a more Malaysian approach, isn't it?
Yeah, like a sarong,
Yeah.
kind of batik top.
She wears like a sarong that, wraps around her body. And I think I'm really happy with this turnout, and at the same time surprised that nobody has mentioned about it.
True, but I think mostly people commented on the first and third form actually.
So we do have a lot of sketches from the concept artists, and the challenging part is getting those sketches and transforming them into the 3D environment and characters in the game. So in our production, we have a very talented guy. His name is Gerald Sung.
Oh, thanks, man.
He's the CG director in our studio, and he oversees the whole. He makes sure that how all the sketches will look very good in the 3D world. Gerald, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, thanks, Dime. Thanks for the nice intro. So my name is Gerald, as I mentioned, and as a CG director, my role was essentially to translate all the wonderful drawings that the concept art team has done into something more tangible and playable in-game. So I was one of the, I think, the earliest hires from Hasmir and you.
You are
number 3, number 4.
I would say that when we started the company, we have like the core team, right?
Yeah.
Gerald, you were one of the core team that started since the beginning of the company.
Yeah, and early on, I think when we were trying to establish the 3D look, I think that's where it was a lot of freedom and exploration, R&D from my end. And my role early on, I guess, was essentially how do we turn these 2D drawings into 3-dimensional forms, but still retain the amazing energy and personality that the drawings had. So I do remember just starting off sculpting Zook in ZBrush.
I remember that.
Yeah, he was shirtless at one point because that's kind of how it starts.
I remember you did Zook's hair is more like a
gramophone
thingy.
Kuntum, yeah, it's an orchid thing, yeah.
Yeah, now Zook's hair it looks more natural because it has this kind of like a variety of lengths and shapes. But last time it's more like a trumpet.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the whole music theme was embedded into the hair.
And I remember some of the stuff did like that though. I remember some of the members, they were like, hey, that is a cool design. And some of them were upset when we changed it to the more natural hair look. They were like, hey,
oh, really?
Why did you take that out? That is really cool.
I didn't know. I had no idea, actually, yeah. Well, I think so we should credit Hafiz because he was the ZBrush artist that really kind of took those conceptual sculpts into final.
Yes.
And I think I was just interested in, basically I was just excited to see how, because you did the drawings and I was very excited to see how they would turn into actual 3D forms. So I sculpted Mayday, early versions of her, and Zook, and Mother and Yinu as well. And I think they did survive quite long in the early game previews,
Yes.
which was really nice to see.
Yeah, we need to credit to Hafiz. He was a freelancer modeler that worked with us very early in the game, and he was the one who did the heavy work for Media and Zook.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his time with us was temporary, so I'm not so sure. Oh yeah, he did Eve as well, right?
Yes, Eve.
I think that's all.
I don't know. Like I have a feeling it was more than that. And Sharinda did the Yinu.
Yes. So Sharinda was another freelancer we had. She was the one who modeled Inu. Okay, well let's get to what you want to show us today. We're gonna start with how we translate the characters first.
Sure. So here's a early sculpt of Zook. This was when I think I just received a line drawing from you, Daim, and this was just something quick that I banged out in ZBrush on the first day, I think.
It was really fast, right? You did it like in one day or something.
Yeah, it was fun. I was excited. I was happy to be of use. And I think it kind of developed into this version where...
Oh, wow, I forgot about this. Yeah, I remember when you say about the shirtless Zook.
There's gonna be some canon fan art of this at some point now. So yeah, this was like super early. I think he's way skinnier in the early renditions of him. And like you mentioned, the previous hair. But it was fun to kind of sculpt in his personality. I think we did talk a lot about like who he was, what was his voice cadence like, what kind of person would play him, animation, movements, and whatnot. So it was fun to kind of work in little bits of his personality into the model itself.
It was at the same time a little bit difficult because at this stage we didn't have a voice actor yet. So we didn't have a full grasp on how Zook is supposed to be. So that was definitely a challenge for the modelers to kind of like having an unsure information on how to create his design.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned like he had the Abang vibe, right? Yeah. And remember I did the early voice test to help as well.
Yeah, Gerald. So in the early animatics that we had, Gerald was the one who volunteered to voice Zook. And you pretty much nailed it, you know. Maybe minus the years of voice acting training, but the tone, the tone was definitely there. The slumber, laid back attitude.
Yeah, really proudest moment of my career, honestly, to say that influenced a character. Moved on to Mayday because I think Zook was pretty fun. Oh my goodness. That is not nice, yeah. So, yeah, definitely made a major improvement from Hafiz's side. Yeah, but this is some a very Neil Gaiman look almost. Coraline vibes. But I guess it was helpful because we got a chance to kind of see how these characters will look in 3D. And the best part is in game engine development today, I exported this, gave it to the programmer, and he kind of did a very early rig that we could use and have them move around in the engine. So even as an early mock-up sculpt like this, I think it did help us a lot, at least flesh out a portion of the game. And this is, finally Zook with clothing.
Oh yeah. Mayday has always been difficult in that because from her concept drawing, she was never designed to be like a traditionally attractive, cute-looking girl. You know, she was deliberately designed to have. She looks half a little bit dorky.
Yeah.
At the same time, like that's kind of like a trait thingy. So it was really difficult to nail her look in 3D in the early stages. But yeah, thanks to Hafiz, what you see her in the current game now is a huge help from him getting there.
Yeah, definitely, I totally agree. I mean, the female head sculpts, I mean, just good character head sculpts in general, right? Because it's a lot of it is actually animation and movement as well. So trying to capture some of that feeling in a static sculpt is pretty challenging.
Yeah, man.
And one thing with the models was I could finally test out, like, so on the left here we have Ellie's concept art, like an earlier rendition of Mayday with lighting and her signature painting style. And on the right is kind of like my model, and I'm trying to emulate the lighting in engine. So this was actually done in Unreal Engine, mimicking how she would do rim lights, kick lights and whatnot, to try and see how was that bridge going to be like from 2D illustration to game engine.
Now that the character models are done, we're gonna start texturing them. So now we have the artist, Levant. Say hello, Levant.
Hello.
So we are going to talk about texturing Mayday and Zook, right?
Yep.
Or Mayday if you don't have time on Zook. So let's share your screen and see what we have here.
Okay, so this is the 3D model of Mayday, and this is the texture before it was fixed. So as you can see, it's a little flat for the color, especially the face here. So what I did for this texture is, let me update it. So this is the texture. So this is the previous texture and this is the after. And you'll see the changes in the modeling too. Okay, can you see the difference?
It is a huge difference. Very nice.
Oh, thank you. So it's like mostly I'll focus on the facial part lah. So, and including the eyes, it really makes a huge difference. This is before and this is the after. Yeah. So here you go. I'm basing this with the concept art that Ellie drew. Dime designed the character, right? If I'm mistaken.
Yep.
And yeah, and this is a version that Ellie painted. So this is Mayday. I'm trying to follow her face as close as possible lah. And here are the results.
Very nice. Which part
Thank you.
did you think was the most important part to nail in the facial design?
The hardest part to nail, it's the to make them look 3D. So to blend them nicely and everything, especially the lips part, and the eyelids, because if we are not careful about that part, right, when you close their eyes and when they talk, there is like a lot of stretched lines. Yeah, so that few parts really have to take extra careful about it lah.
And the other thing that we always have to be careful with the lips is that if the lip is not colored correctly, they might look like Muppets without the lips. Yeah, so
kinda.
It's really important to add that layer of shade on the lips so that there's a little bit of depth in the lips. Okay, let's talk about the hero's animation. And here with us now is Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hello.
Ben has been with us. You are the first animator to join us, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, since the very early... When was it? Like January or February or something?
I think it was around March of 18. 2018. Yeah, 2018.
Okay. Yeah, so you were one of the original members and you have been with us for a long time, and Ben was responsible for a lot of the game motions. If you've seen the trailers and stuff, most likely some of the game motions that you see the heroes are performing, they were done by Ben. So Ben, let's see what you have to show us today.
Okay, so what I want to show is the differences between how I animated how I animated Mayday and how I animated Zook, right? Specifically the dodges, which is their rolls, the dodge rolls. So I'm gonna start with Mayday first. So when I animated Mayday, just give a quick show, right? So this is Mayday's roll. It's a dive roll. As you can see, she dives in front and then a roll. Okay, it's called a dive roll. So the reason why I gave her this roll, I chose this roll for her was because it's a bit more stylish and it kind of matches her personality a bit more, because it's also, at least I feel like it's a bit more reckless, because as you can see here, there's a chance, there's a risk of you hitting your head or hitting your head on the floor and breaking your neck. That's really dangerous. But this is Mayday, she doesn't care.
She's really dangerous, but it really fits her character though.
Yeah, so like she doesn't care, so this works. At least I feel like this works for her. So I'm gonna show Zook's dodge roll. So this is a really old video that I have of his dodge roll. I'm showing this because the final look of the roll in the game is different. So because it was the file was passed on to a different animator and he had a different animation choice, But initially, this my idea was that I gave him what you would call a safety roll or a shoulder roll, because this roll is a bit more. It's safer. It's also more. I would say it's safer because Zook is more of a careful guy. He's more tactical. He's more careful, and he has a history in what was it, ballet?
I think nobody knows that, but his backstory is he does a lot of dances,
Yeah, so someone like him would probably know how to break his fall, like in case he falls or whatnot, he knows how to get up safely. So just to explain a bit, so why is it called a shoulder roll is because this roll, you absorb the impact with your shoulders, so that's why it's called a shoulder roll. So your head is relatively safe when you do this roll, so there's less risk of you breaking your neck. Yeah,
that is really nice. I think these are the little things that I'm happy that you are putting into the game because I think not many people might pick this up, but this is the level of detail that we want to put in our characters. I know even the smallest thing, it will add up to flesh out these two characters,
Yeah, I always try to think about like personality, I guess, and put personality into the characters. Because I feel like that's like, what's my inspiration? I think Overwatch. Because all the characters, the way they hold their guns are all different compared to, let's say, if you say your generic shooter, right? They all have the same reload animation and whatnot. But Overwatch is full of personality and it's a really great inspiration.
Yeah, that is great. And I think that is the responsibility of an animator, animators, they have to, think like the character they're animating. Okay, now let's talk about the boss animations in our game. So we are going to bring in DJ Subatomic Supernova. And today with us now is Faiko, one of the two animators we have in our studio. Hello, Faiko.
Hello.
Okay, so Faiko, you were in charge on some of the boss animations in the game, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, then let's have a look at DJ Subatomic Supernova. Can you share me your screen? Okay, yeah, so this is most of the boss have like multiple phases in the game, right?
Yep.
So this is phase 1. The hard thing about the game is that compared to other games, we do have to conform to the music beat, you know, because we want every character to kind of follow the beat, the music. So can you talk a little bit about that, Faiko?
Yeah. One of the thing is sometimes because some of music is actually not yet confirmed by the music team. So what we actually do in before that, because we have to make a rough one, so we'll just start off for a very rough one. So just to see the motion, it's actually more work for us to make an adjustment, because after they done the music, and then we have to time it back with the correct beat.
Oh, is that how the DJ was done?
Not all, like some of it we do that actually.
I'm guessing it's because DJ was one of the earliest bosses that we animated, right? So it was so early that at that time the music wasn't even done yet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was much difficult in the beginning of the stages, you know, but as the game progresses, we pretty much have all the music, so it was relatively easier, right, after that?
Yeah, after that it was way easy because we have all the beat frame that we need to follow.
Yeah, so we do have like a calculation, and it's surprisingly, I mean, it is kind of, it's a very roundabout calculation because of the BPM, you know, if you're saying something like 120 BPM, and you have to convert that into how many frames per beat or something, and then you have to convert that into Maya, because Maya we're animating it in like 60 frames per second. So we do have like an in-house calculation to convert every BPM to, you know, how many frames you need in Maya, isn't it?
Yes.
So judging by this, we usually loop the characters in like one beat, right, or something.
Loop the character in one beat.
Yeah. So when you look at this, I'm looking at this. The total frame is 288, isn't it?
Yes.
So that means that for DJ Subatomic Supernova, one beat equals 288 frames, isn't it? Oh no, it's not.
No. The beat I think is around 28 for this character, for this phase music.
Okay.
Why it will be 288? Because the variation of the animation. Because as you see from the screen,
yeah,
we cannot have, like, let's say if we only have 2 bits. If we calculate like this, we only have around 60 frames, which is pretty fast for idle. So in order to have more interesting animation, we just extend it, and then we did the variation on the character. So you can see it will change his finger pose. And
you're right. Yeah, he does a lot of variation in his poses.
Yeah, so it will more interesting for the viewer.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.